We have something brand new. This is the launch of the Circle stand-up card cutting dies, as you can see right here. Now there are 9 dies in this collection, and they're going to make a stand-up card. In fact, let me show you the one that's on the package. It's this one, and you can tell that Debbie put acetate in the center, but you're going to get not only the piece to do the card base, but also the circles. You're going to do 2 of those, and the inner circle, those balloons, happy birthday and friend, all of that is part of what you can use. So here is the cutting die, and I've got more ideas for you. Won't you please come play with us? Okay, well, let me show you what the dies look like. Now, because this is fabulous folded, you know, one of the things about all of these dies is that the package has the instructions in text as well as visual. So that's just really a nice thing to have. Okay, let me just go through the process of creating these. And you will have, like I said, all these dies. So you've got the card base. Now, as you can see, this card opens at the top, just like that. And that's what this is going to do. You're going to place this on a fold and die cut it. Here is the piece that holds it to stand up. We have the donut, is what we call this circle, and then another circle. These are going to go together like that. And then we've had extra room, so why not give you a happy birthday, a friend, and some balloons? Yes, why not? So let me scoot these away and bring in the die cut papers so you can see what this looks like as I put this together. So as I said, you're going to place this cutting die onto a folded piece of cardstock, just as I've done. Run it through your die cutting machine. Be sure to have these pieces, well, these pieces won't cut. Yeah, they won't cut, so that makes it easy. And you have this. So then that's going to be one of them. This is the piece that's going to be the keep it from spreading. You know, if it were just like this, it could just go and you would end up with a circle on your table. So this is going to be useful. And you're going to take this, and it's already scored. So the centerpiece is going to be a valley fold. These are going to be mountain folds. And as with most of these cards, you're going to use extra sticky tape. That's the kind with the red liner. You want to put it on each side. And when we put this inside our card, it's really very simple. So we're going to turn this over, and then you just remove the tape from one side like this and position this so it's in the center right at the edge. Okay? And just like that. And then you remove the other liner like this and keep that pushed down, and then all you do is close the card, and that will be perfectly aligned. Now this card isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to stay right there. So you want to keep that middle part as a mountain, and just like that. Okay? So that's step. Then we're going to take, and we're going to cut 2 of the donuts, and we're going to take one of the circle. The circle is going to get glued into the center of the donut, and then the other donut's going to go on top, just like that. And then this is going to get glued to the front of our card. So it's going to go just below that circle to get attached. Now, you could do what Debbie did. You could die cut that circle out of acetate, and then you've got a window that you can do some fun things with. I just did it out of cardstock just for this demonstration. Then you are set. You can add any of the other pieces if you want to. You can certainly do it as the birthday if you want. And the balloons are fun. You can do them multiple times. Happy birthday can go there. And glue everything in place. Super easy. 9 pieces, that's really nice to have. Okay, so all of those directions that I just gave you are right there. Super easy. Okay, now let's go into some other things that Debbie did, but let me show you one thing. So for her strings for her balloons, the clever woman used our silver straight line dazzles. And there are some skinny ones and some little bit wider ones. Obviously, she used the skinny ones and even put one down here. Now, what did she use for her card? Well, she used the Whispering Florals, the solid, as well as the 6x6, and you can see that right on front. So that lavender and that piece right on top. And she just did it on the front. The back is where you can write your message, so you can decide if you want to put pattern paper there or not. It's up to you, but this makes a very sturdy card. So that's a nice way to go. And yes, we do have acetate available for you. She did do a bow, and that is with the light pink ribbon. And I thought it was really fun. That's the lightest piece on here, but just a really fun combination. And you get that when you have a solid collection like this. So that works nicely. Okay, so what else can you do? Well, let's see what Debbie has for us. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? And this is using our Steampunk for Everyone. Now, she used the 12 by 12 set, so that's going to give you your papers. It's also going to give you these large pieces. Now, she did use scissors to cut them out. We really recommend, or I really recommend, these precision scissors, because when you have a short blade, which this is, it's just easier to cut around the paper. So it just works nicely. And you can see that instead of acetate this time, she used the Steampunk for Everyone paper. But look what she did for the donut. She used the metallic gold just right there. And on her happy birthday, now her happy birthday, she did 3 colors, 2 of the solid cardstock, and then on top with the gold. So just gorgeous. These are foam taped. And she did one little border across the bottom. And on the back, she added one of the cutouts. So that's one of the cutouts from the collection. She did leave this available to write her message. And it is all set. Isn't that spectacular? Very, very nice. Very, very clever. Okay, now how about something else? Well, in this case, she used, isn't that pretty? Just perfect. I love how that wave is going in the, almost in the opposite, well, the opposite direction of our porpoise, our dolphin. Oh, pretty. And you see how that's raised? Well, I'll show you what that is. But let's get started with the card first. So what she has used in this collection is, the Sea Life stained glass. Now that's a recently released paper collection. So stained glass, and that's where she got this beautiful wave. The papers on the back of each of these sheets are kind of a wave look, which is gorgeous. That Let's Connect Soon, that's one of the cutouts. And she also used the coordinating Sea Life stained glass solid, and that's where she got the card base. And then also when she die cut Friend, so that, although that Friend would really be pretty out of that metallic gold, wouldn't it? Now for this piece, okay, that comes from the Sea Life stained glass cutting dies, and there it is. And look how gorgeous. Now let's get in super close so we can see the detail on that. There you go. Now she put some of the inks on that and just dabbed some colors after she die cut it out. And isn't that pretty? Now to go back to the snow marker, this is it. And we introduced this, just about 30 days ago, and it's sold out, but more is coming. And all you do is, it is a pen. So you're simply going to put it where you want it to be. And snow is what, they're thinking you're going to do, but look what she's done with waves. Then you do want to heat it with a heat gun, and that will puff up. So she's got it here, a little bit right there, just wherever you see white in the art. So just absolutely gorgeous. Again, on the back, she has one of the cutouts and another of the papers. So she die cut out her card out of the solid, but then she went back and die cut this piece and this piece, also using the same cutting die, and then just trimming it down a little bit so you could see the card edge. I love how those two are linked together. Just gorgeous. So what else can you do? Okay, well, let me show you this. Now, I have never seen that kind of a wreath done before. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, what she has done is she's using the Hidden Animals collection. And let me show you. So here they are. So you can see the animals are hidden in the art. Hidden animals, obviously. We also have a raccoon and the Hidden Animals solid cardstock too. So what she did is she elected to do kind of a double thing with her card. So she first cut it out of the solid and then cut it again out of the paper that has the wood on it, and glued those two together, did her little brace, as you know, and then did her circle out of the raccoon. Her two donuts are out of the solid. Oh, look, she's got Happy Birthday Friend on the back. That's fun. But look at this wreath. Okay, that is using our caviar beads. And she used the red and the green. Now, it's nice to know that it doesn't look like Christmas there, and you would think that it would, but it doesn't. And I think part of that is because the red is kind of a muted red. It's almost a burgundy, so gorgeous, but the colors are picked up in with the raccoon. So she did put a very nice heavy base of the E6000, so squeeze that on the donut, and then she mixed these two in a bowl and then just drop them on and let that build up with the glue. And isn't that fun? And it's really not very heavy, and it's very sturdy. I mean, I could pop that puppy and it's not going to do anything. And I thought it was really fun that she used the flowers. Now, these are the little fairy garden. They're called fairy garden, which is not a theme you would kind of think with Hidden Animals, but it works. The colors work. You Are So Kind, that is part of the die cuts, the Hidden Animals die cuts. She's foam taped that on top. And like I said, she has got balloons on the back and Happy Birthday Friend and more of those flowers. And they're just nestled right inside that donut shape. How pretty. Okay, so I think, do I have you convinced all the things that you can do with this set of cutting dies? They're absolutely, I think you're going to find a lot of things you can do, and especially when you've got one image or a couple of images that are really the stars of the show. You know, kind of like that raccoon, or kind of like that wave, a little bit like that hot air balloon. So that's going to be a perfect place to showcase it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Well, every month we release a brand new fabulous folded set of dies. They're all designed to do with card making. And we do have something else, and it looks like this. It is a subscription, and we have it on the right side of your screen, but let me tell you a little bit about it. Every month you will get the set of cutting dies, and you will save 10%. That's a deal. Plus you will get a free gift. Now the free gift this time is the metallic gold sheet. Now you just get one sheet. It's 8.5 by 11, and it's just like what Debbie used in her hot air balloon. So that will be useful right away, and it will be sent to you before we do the webisode. Now, because these dies have an idea on them, you are set to get started the moment it arrives at your doorstep. So that's really nice. Now, if you would like to get this subscription, just click on the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see that. In addition, over there, there is the Money Saver, which is the cutting die and the package of metallic gold cardstock. Okay, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, you can just, if you would go to our website, we would love it if you would subscribe. That would be perfect. And then you can get all of the ideas, the information, and see what strikes your fancy. That would be great. Okay, I do want to thank Debbie for doing such an absolutely wonderful job in creating all of these and giving us so many ideas to use the circle stand-up. You know, I bet that this is going to come in so handy. Anytime you want to highlight a specific image, it's going to be a wonderful showcase. Okay, I want to thank you for joining us and for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.